Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, November 5. The Ministry of Finance and the Public Service has launched the Jamaica Investment Map, a digital platform that will facilitate interactive public access to information on investment projects being implemented by the government. Individuals and entities will be able to track and provide feedback on the process of these investments by posting comments and photos, among other methods. The facility is intended to strengthen the management of public investments in Jamaica. The Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, financed the undertaking via a regional technical cooperation grant provided through its Transparency Fund. 70 projects funded by the government and multilateral institutions have already been uploaded on the site, which is the 7th such facility established in Latin America and the Caribbean. Jamaica is the first English-speaking country to establish the facility. Finance and Planning Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke says it represents a continuation of government's implementation of public financial management reforms over recent years. The platform may be accessed at publicinvestmentmap.gov.jm. Jamaica is now the first country in the English-speaking Caribbean to establish a full regulatory body for radiation protection and safety. The Hazardous Substances Regulatory Authority, HSRA, was recently launched by Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce Audley Shaw. It is mandated to regulate the activities, practices, apparatus and facilities that are involved in the use of ionizing radiation and nuclear technology for the protection of people, property and the environment. Minister Shaw says the entity is well-resourced and positioned to provide tremendous benefits for many aspects of our lives and the environment. As an example, he says the work of the HSRA will enable the country to leverage nuclear technology to strengthen food security, which is a top priority of the government. Several schools in the corporate area were presented with devices to aid virtual learning yesterday on the government's Tablets in Schools program. Prime Minister Andrew Holness was in the St. Andrew West Central area to hand over tablets at Drews Avenue Primary and Infant School and Seaward Primary. Drews Avenue received 45 tablets, while 48 were presented to Seaward Primary. 150 tablets were previously handed over to the Harborview Primary School, while another 84 devices were distributed to the neighboring St. Benedict's Primary School. While speaking at Drews Avenue Primary, the Prime Minister addressed criticisms that his government was slow in responding to the crisis in education brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. He said the lack of adequate electronic learning devices was the result of the massive disruption in their manufacturing and supply brought on by the pandemic.
I want us to acknowledge, to appreciate the point, that Jamaica is not the only country that is facing this deficit of technological devices to enable remote learning. Indeed, most countries in this region have that same problem of lack of access to devices.
Education Minister Favour Williams reaffirmed government's commitment to bridging the digital divide in learning.
We know these are difficult times, but we can't throw up our hands now. Now is when we really reach into ourselves, lean forward, step forward to ensure that our children, wherever they are, in the deepest, ruralist part of Jamaica, that they are connected to the formal education system and are able to learn even while we live through the pandemic.
Chief Executive Officer of E-Learning Jamaica, Keith Smith, says the entity has so far distributed just over 20,000 devices, each valued at US $165. All 40,000 tablets under the Tablets in Schools program are expected to be distributed in short order. Meanwhile, the Jamaica Money Market Brokers Foundation has donated $10 million to government's One Laptop or Tablet per Child initiative. The JMMB Foundation handed over the money to the Ministry of Education yesterday.
I'm pleased, I'm happy for the 10 million contribution from the JMMB Foundation. Thank you so much. Please convey my thanks to the JMMB Foundation, the JMMB family as a whole, for stepping forward on behalf of the Jamaican children.
Chair of the foundation, Patricia Duncan Sutherland, said she was happy the foundation could make the donation.
As you know, Favor, we always want to be a part of the solution. And so it's not the whole solution, but it's our part in creating the solution. And you know, at JMB you always have to be positive, right? Yeah. So one big positive that's coming out of COVID is that it is forcing us to move in the direction of really making our children digitally ready for the world.
Persons interested in making similar monetary donations may do so through the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange at jamstockx.com and click one laptop or tablet per child initiative. For local and overseas donors sending devices, they should use the guidelines for donating provided on the National Education Trust website. And finally, Energy Minister Darrell Vaz says plans are being put in place to procure up to 268 megawatts of electricity generation from renewable sources by 2025. These include energy from solar and wind technologies, with 70 megawatts from hydro, biomass, and waste technologies.
Over the life of the plan, US $2.8 billion of investment is anticipated to further modernize our energy sector. It is my priority as Minister to have the generation procurement entity established and given a charge to expedite the procurement process. Their first order of priority will be to define the rules and protocols to govern the procurement processes.
Minister Vaz was speaking at the recently held virtual meeting for the 12th Caribbean Renewable Energy Forum. The renewable energy target is in keeping with the Integrated Resource Plan, IRP, which is a 20-year roadmap for Jamaica's electricity investment landscape. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.